welcome back to FTL, as you can see on the screen. This is... well, how should I explain this? We got our first donation for Mado Lyinginbedmon's new computer, so... as I said in the video for it, I'm going to be doing this little facecam video. I'll probably do more as the donations keep going, but we'll see. This time in FTL, I unlocked a bunch of ships since the last time, so I'm going to be doing a challenge run, which is, I'm calling it the ZerO2 run, which is basically, we pick a ship, ideally one with a fairly decent crew and a decent med bay, and we keep going as far as we can until our crew dies, our ship explodes, or everyone suffocates. Because the first thing we're doing is we're turning off the oxygen. We're not venting the entire ship, so we have that initial supply of oxygen, and then we have to run on that and healing our guys in the med bay and all manner of things throughout the rest of the run. So this isn't a race to actually finish things, this is actually just a race to see how far we can get. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at the hangar. So, I unlocked all of them, and this one, which is the one we'll be using today, the Crystal Cruiser, is an absolute pain in the hindquarters to get. So, the benefits of the Crystal Cruiser are, we have these two Crystal crew members, and they take reduced suffocation damage, as you can see in the top right there, but they also move slower, they have higher health, which is nice, and they have an ability called Lockdown, which allows them to seal off rooms from intruders. Other benefits of the Crystal Cruiser are Crystal Vengeance, meaning every time our hull takes damage, there's a 10% chance that we'll damage the enemy. And they also have these unique weapons, the Heavy Crystal Mark 1 and the Crystal Burst Mark 1. Which pierce shields like missiles but don't use ammo. So they're kind of my favourite things in the world. As usual, we're starting on easy because I don't want to get hit by another slaver. And let's rename our ship. So I think we're going to call this one the LXG Mark 1. Those will be the first thing I try here. Okay, so, and what should we do with our crew members? Well, we've got Adnan, Shirai, Ekman, and Firadim. I don't personally feel like pronouncing that for the next 30-odd minutes, so let's rename Adnan Dave. That's a nice name there, isn't it? And I think that's a female. If I'm not mistaken, that's a female. There we go. And Shirai, Jack Shirai. Apparently he has a full name. Wow. What should we call him? How about Gar? That seems suitable. And Ekman, Stephen Ekman. Apparently this crystal dude has a very remarkably dull name. Andy. Andy the Crystal. Crystal Andy. And our last little dude can be, who am I going to upset here? Depends on where I get new crew members, I suppose. Let's call him Nifty. Crystal Nifty, there we go. So, let's hop in, shall we? I'm going to be doing a lot of fast forwarding in this, so there will be a counter on in the screen here that's going to tell you exactly how far through the things I am, and I'll probably be speaking fairly erratically, but we'll see. So, let's drop in, shall we? Okay, so, let's organize our men. We're going to want... we don't want to power all these. Fortunately, the Crystal Cruiser actually happens to have more or less enough power for everything. Let's send Gar over to our med bay. In your own time, Gar. There we go. Actually, let's have Gar on weapons. It's close enough to the med bay, so it seems reachable enough for him. And okay, with everyone in place, we shall pause, disable the O2, and we're going to put that into our engines, because we're going to need that fairly soon. So, we have Dave at the helm, Gar at weapons, Andy on shields, and Nifty on the engines. So, let's take our first jump, and we're not going to be looking for any kind of quests here, we're not going to be making any deviations, because we don't have much air. So, let's get moving. Okay, well, fairly standard guy here. We have a rebel fighter who's offering us some help. But we're not really going to have much need of him because we're just going to be keeping running here. So we're just going to pass him by and off we go again. Oh balls, it's not out scout. Fortunately these guys don't have any weapons. Whoop, but he is trying to run. And he has a shield. Well, a cloak. These guys are the most annoying you can possibly imagine, because we can't really run until our FTL charges, and more importantly, we can't shoot at him until he actually decloaks. So this is going to be a bit of a pain, since our oxygen is slowly ticking away at a rate of roughly 1 per second. Okay, first thing we want to get at is those. Our shields will be able to take a beating, but until then we're going to have to keep shooting at him. And it would appear that the first thing they've managed to damage is our med base, so I'm going to want to fix that very quickly. And there go the lights. Joy. Okay, so that's them down. Quickly pause so that our oxygen meter at 60 there doesn't go down much further. We'll send Dave over to fix the lights, because we're going to want to see those. And then we'll be fresh and out again. Now unfortunately what we could do with on this kind of mission is the NG creatures, because they actually repair quite a bit faster. And actually while we're here, let's upgrade them. No, there's not much point in that. Upgrade to the FTL, we could. But we need to put more power into it, so that's a full total of 35 anyway. Or we could upgrade piloting, which doesn't actually take any power at all. So let's upgrade piloting and the engines, and once we have 20 we can stick more power into that, and then we'll get our FTL charging faster. So come on Dave, get those eyes fixed soon. There we go. So let's get back in there and let's get hopping. We are at least 2 more jumps away from the next station. Another scout. Let's just avoid provoking this one. Oh joy. They've shut down our engines more or less as well, so this is going to slow us down quite a bit. So we're going to have to pound some slugs. One slight significant downside of the crystal weapons is they take a fair while to actually charge up, which is a bit of a pain. And we've finally got our warning on the low O2. Fortunately, that sound means we've just created a hull breach in the enemy ship, so they're going to be low on oxygen as well. So let's get the heavy crystal focused on that, and we'll have our crystal machine gun down here just aim at their oxygen, because that's a room they can't actually access. So let's just have them feel our pain. And since they can't access it, they can't repair it. And I believe this is about them down. There we go. Look, and everywhere has depressurized, so everyone is beginning to take damage. So we're going to actually want to upgrade our medbay fairly soon, because you need at least a level 2 medbay to sustain someone. Well, to heal someone while they're in the medbay with no oxygen around. But we don't have the energy for that just yet. So let's put it towards the engines and use that to move faster. Scrap it and run. Uncharted Nebula, Rebel controlled sector. Rebels are the bad guys, so let's go with the Uncharted Nebula. Okay, we have a problem now, because Dave and Gar are both slowly suffocating. So, let's shift our shield guy over to the manning there, and let's get our two unfortunate humans over into the med bay. Oh no, one of them's gonna die, it seems. Okay, there we go. As you can see, they're going to go very, very slowly. In fact, they're not even moving as far as I can tell, so we really need to upgrade the med bay, or these guys aren't leaving the room. But let's not chat while our other guys are suffocating as well. Ooh, Mantis ship. Now, Mantises are fairly commonly people who try to board you, although we can't actually see on their systems list down there exactly how they're going to be boarding us. So quite probably just going to try and open fire, but we have the slight problem that with the health on Andy and Nifty, we don't actually have much in the way of, well, people to man the systems. So if we stick around, we're going to die. So let's get moving again. See where things get kind of desperate. Okay, quiet sector, let's keep moving. Now, Mantis, the guys who like to board, or Rebels, the guys who are going to open our face. Let's go with the Mantis, because at least if they board, they're going to start suffocating, and the Mantis don't have very good health. Unfortunately, it looks like Andy and Nifty are on the way out in terms of their health. Now, they still have a fair deal, 31, and they take less damage from suffocation, but they're still going to be dropping with every single jump we make, because that still takes time. So let's send Nifty on the long walk over to the med bay, and we shall keep jumping while he's in motion so Andy doesn't take as much damage. So, back we go. Unfortunately, it's like we've got a fairly long way around to get to the exit in this sector. Oh, balls, this isn't a good place to be. And there's an auto-scout. Okay, we're now more or less officially screwed. Especially since the medbay can only hold 3 people. So, we can only sustain someone. We don't have the medbay to actually heal them at this point in time. So, this is going to get interesting. Fortunately, the weapons can operate by themselves. But, it looks like we're going to be losing Andy, or we can maybe try and switch out Gar, but Gar's going to start suffocating a lot faster than Andy. So, who are we going to sacrifice? Everyone? Well, Gar is technically ancillary, in that the weapons can fire by themselves. Andy and Nifty are very useful to have around because they take less suffocation damage, but we no longer have the capacity to heal anyone, and we don't have anyone fit to, man the actual drive and the pilots, so this is going to be probably the last place we can be, because there's no, well, unless we get enough scrap from this auto scout to actually get an upgrade to our energy systems or our med bay, we can't do anything. So I'm gonna try and hot switch out Gar with Andy, and hopefully they'll survive. I doubt it, but we'll see. Okay. Actually, I should really be swapping out my human members, because they take more damage anyway. Whoop, nope. You get back in there. I think we're about to lose Dave. Yep, there goes Dave, but on the bright side, that does solve our problem of who to heal. Okay, well, they've set our shields on fire, but on the bright side, that's not a problem, because they're always on fire, and everything is vacuum at the moment. And by the looks of it, the asteroid field is going to do a better job at killing down this auto-scout than we are. So let's just watch as things fall apart, and pray that we get a decent amount of scrap from this. There we go. Whoop, and there go the doors. But the doors aren't a huge problem. 28 scrap, that's actually pretty handy, but we have to jump so we can actually, because we're in an asteroid field which is dangerous, so we can't jump autonomically, nor can we buy anything from the shop. So, actually looks like Andy and Nifty have been healing up in the medbay because they don't take as much suffocation damage. So let's get, and we'll keep Andy. We'll keep Nifty in the medbay, and we'll send Andy over to man the systems, and then we can jump to hopefully a safe place and buy an upgraded medbay there to help out Gar. But that still requires that we wait for the system to charge, and Andy is not in the best way, so this is going to get interesting very soon. Especially since I kind of really want to be juggling these guys around very quickly now, because I waited a little too long to realize that Andy is going to suffocate soon. Okay, but fortunately we don't lose progress on the FTL drive charging while I'm doing this. But this is where it gets really difficult to run a ZerO2 run. Okay, we're okay. Jump, 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 and pray there's nothing here. Oh dear, we've come off to the side of the screen, which means ship. Don't risk activating it. Just open the ship, open this, and get things upgraded. More power to the medbay, Captain. And now we can see that Gar is actually going up in health, which is good for us, because we kind of need the other guys. So that's fantastic to see. That particular sand is Nifty suffocating, but he's going to go up a lot faster than Gar with Andy, because again, crystals don't take as much suffocation damage, which is why they're perfect for a ZerO2 run. But still, it's a very delicate delicate balancing act, because you only get 2 in this listing, and they move very slowly. So Andy is fully healed, it would seem. So let's send him to go fix the doors. They're not really a major system that we need to worry about, especially since the whole ship is vacuumed. But still handy to have functional should we actually need it. He's going to take his fair time doing this, though. Meanwhile, Nifty can go and man the piloting again. We've nearly got them. And they're functional. Let's go. Get out of here. Ooh, in a store. What'd you know? Something I've used like 3 sectors ago. We can fix some hull damage, or we could sell something, but there isn't much we can do except for the healing burst, which can target our own ship. It's missile powered, excuse me, which is a little bit of a problem, because we only have the 2 missiles and they cost 6 here, but it instantly heals all friendly crew in the room, which is fairly handy for us, because it means we can routinely heal our crew members who aren't in the most fantastic of locations, i.e. anywhere but the medbay. So the question then is, what do we sell? Well, we haven't had much purchase from Crystal Vengeance, and conveniently enough, it sells for the exact same cost as the heal bone. So let's get rid of that. That buys us some money. Buy that, and buy a missile, because we're going to need them now. And it also only takes the 1, which is handy, so take that out. And let's get Nifty back in the medbay. Gar we can keep in the medbay to keep it functional, because that's going to be our primary main concern right now. As I say, when you're doing a ZerO2 run, your main concern is not actually beating the game, or indeed completing any quests, or getting any vast amount of loot. It's just keeping your crew members alive to the point that you can still function on the ship and keep moving. There is usually a point where this fails, but hopefully we won't find that in this particular run. So let's get Andy over into the ship, so we can actually keep jumping out. But now that we have the heal bombs, as long as we got missiles and a reasonable charge rate, we can heal our crew members from outside the medbay, which is pretty handy. Another thing that's good when you're doing a ZerO2 run is that the NG ship has the... oh balls, it's not the place I want to be. The NG ship has healing nanobots, which you can use to... Wait, did they just say... Huh, intruders. They picked like the worst possible ship to be on. Okay, well let's keep our... They're going to attack our weapons, those things that we're mostly keeping for show. Okay, if they attack our med bay, I'm going to have Nipty fire off his Crystal Vengeance. And we can... They're human, so they're going to suffocate fairly quickly. As Guard displayed, and Dave. Whoop. Nipty, I'm going to need your lockdown. And lockdown keeps other people from coming in, but because our weapons are down we can't use the heal beam, which actually means that Andy is probably going to die. Oh dear. But we'll see. Okay, well, everyone's dead, but what about Andy? Is Andy going to be okay? Well, fortunately lockdown wears off after a while, especially if people are attacking it. Come on, Andy. Phew. Well, the team's doing rather well in the wake of, balls. I'm going to want to get someone into that piloting so I can get out of here. But we still need someone to actually be repairing the weapon systems, and if we leave the weapon systems while we're repairing them mid-flow, we're going to lose all the progress. So... let's weather the fire. Until we have someone that can actually reasonably go out. NG also repair a lot faster than Rock and Crystal crew members. And oh joy, if the fire started in the one room where people aren't going to die. Which is good for us. It's also going to suffocate anyway, but good for us anyway. Okay, Andy is soon enough going to be well enough to go and pilot again, while Nipty's repairing the ship. So let's send him out now. The first thing we're going to want to power is the heal, which isn't going to have its original charge, which is annoying. We have to wait for that to power back up. But on the bright side, we're going to have something to shoot. Oh dear, here we go again. Oh, Nipty's coming down. Let's see how close we can get here. Balls. The fires have appeared in the one room where Nipty actually needs to go through. Let's keep moving. Okay, now we need to get everyone back into the medbay, because this isn't going to last very long. Neither is Nipty. Phew. Okay, well the fires are out, which is good. Let's send Gar, because he moves faster, and he repairs faster. Not quite sure why he picked that exit, which means he has to go through even more damaged rooms, but oh well, he repairs those rooms faster, so that's reasonably enough for us. Problem being, we have to keep a fairly close eye on his health, because he is going to die a lot faster. He's not going to have the time. And we lose all of the progress on that. But he's alive, so that's something. Okay, let's send our crystal dudes in to do the repairs. So yes, the NG have nanobots, which allow you to heal everyone on the ship at a slower rate than in the medbay, but only as long as the medbay is functional. So if we had Gar in our medbay now and we had the NG medbots, our crystal guys would be pretty much secure. We wouldn't have to be moving them around to the medbay and back at all. But you only get those in very special quests. Usually, it's very rare that you see them in the shops, and they otherwise only appear on the NG ships, which is mildly pain. Okay, well everyone's fixed up, so let's get you back into the medbay, and then let's get moving again. We only have free fuel. We haven't been in any situation to get more, so unfortunately this is going to be quickly a death by lack of fuel. But otherwise this has been a fairly successful ZerO2 run, I would say. I haven't been keeping track of how many sectors we've been through or how many places, but again, that'll be on the screen because apparently I can do that inside of Premier Elements. And let's send Andy back to the pilot seat. He can't quite fill the shoes of Captain Dave, who died a tragic, suffocating death, but that's mostly because the shoes are too small, because Andy's a hulking giant crystal dude. Okay, let's get going. And we are heading for Sector 4. And we can go for the slugs. The slugs are telepathic creatures, and they also have this annoying thing that their ships have a sort of buffer shield around that you have to eat through first, so they're fairly long fights. Let's go for the civilians. They tend to be human, which means they'll suffocate if they attack us, and are generally going to be a lot more permeable. But as we continue through here, we're going to have a problem, because the ships that we fight are going to have more shielding, which our crystals are going to have 100 time penetrating. Balls. As I said, 2 shields on that enemy auto assault, which means our crystals aren't going to be able to penetrate them normally. And we're in front of a sun. This is going to get painful quickly. Okay, so my strategy here is that I'm going to have our rapid fire crystal at the top fire at the shields. That should be enough to at least get them down. And then I can free aim our second crystal at the shielding so we can damage it, and hopefully that'll do us a hand. Except it's just been knocked out by the dang missile, so I need to go and send someone, Nifty, who is fully healed, over to fix that. Now, unfortunately, solar flares are completely meaningless to us auto assaults for the most part, because the auto assaults self-repair, and they're also depressurized. So they're kind of pointless if you're on a boarding run, because you can just send people over and they'll take down systems, but they'll also suffocate in the process. But here we go. And there's no point in that thing firing, because we need the other one operational. Up here comes a missile. Oh joy. Firing Nifty's room. Which is going to damage the extant systems in there, and it's also going to prevent him from repairing them. I can't even turn on the heal bombs because not enough power. There goes the engines. Come on, Nifty. Need that system. A little more. Okay, system is back up. Let's get Nifty back into the medbay before he starts dying. And we need to wait until our crystal heavy... Oh, you've got to be smegging me. These guys are not making my day. Well, actually, let's have him wait in there until the fires go out. That's going to deal more damage to our weapon systems. Ooh, thanks. Smeg, it went out just before it damaged another point. So we retain our already charged weapon, and here comes another missile. Missiles bypass shields. But at least I've got the part I don't care much about. And here comes another solar flare. We're at 50% hull. This auto assault drone is trashing us. But there really isn't much of anything we can do about it right now, because we can't get through those shields. At least we're not on fire again. Yes, please, take out the system I don't care about. Okay, system back online. We need to wait for it to charge. I'm going to leave Andy in there, because I don't know if he improves the wait time on the weapons recharging, but I do know he improves the accuracy, and I do know that we're probably going to have to repair this again sometime soon. So I'm going to leave him in there until we really need to take him out for the oxygen. Unfortunately, our heavy is going to take ages to charge up. Let's send Nifty in. Hey! What a terrible tragedy that is. And now our medbay's out. That's not as good. Okay, Andy, get to the medbay. Also, I can hear fire, but that won't last for long. Okay, well, our Crystal Heavy has loaded, so let us fire at the shield, and let's get very ready with our Crystal Heavy. Balls. Mistimed that, but we damaged the shield a little bit. Oh, and now we have whole critical hull, so this is probably going to be the last of our little guys here, so apologies to Gar, Andy, Nipty, and especially the fallen Captain Dave, because we're all going to die a horrible death in the middle of space near sun. Which probably means that we're probably going to, well, let's see, we'll suffocate first, because hey, we're on the edge of that now. There we go. And then we'll fry. Because contrary to popular belief, human bodies and such don't explode in space. I don't know about the crystals, but human bodies certainly don't. So, high score there of 337 with the crystal ship on a ZerO2 score. Let's see, that was Sector 4, System 3, I think? System 3? Simple? I'm not sure. But try this out for yourself. Maybe you'll get something better than me. And I hope you enjoyed this second FTL video. So, catch you next time.